Reimagine how our city operates.
The city of San Diego with a $258 million budget deficit. That means cuts to the police department. We asked the mayor what this means for public safety.
The man accused of setting 9 fires in East County appears before a judge. Coming up, I'll tell you about the new details we learned in court.
Opening statements in the trial of a woman who's accused of killing 2 pedestrians, including a 15-year-old girl. We'll show you what happened in court.
That was a pretty crazy event. I've, never experienced anything like that.
An unexpected drawing to end a deadlocked city council race. We're live as first responders make the holidays brighter for patients at Rady Children's Hospital. CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts right now.
Budget deficit of this size requires immediate action to begin saving money.
We begin tonight with the rough road ahead for the city of San Diego as Mayor Todd Gloria announces a massive $258 million budget deficit for the upcoming fiscal year. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. Mayor Gloria outlined the severity of the city's budget shortfall as the city faces a homelessness crisis, billions in overdue infrastructure needs, and aging city facilities. He also outlined several immediate measures to begin addressing the deficit, including suspending non-essential overtime, pausing non-essential spending on travel, and halting the Civic Center revitalization proposal. Gloria says despite the financial challenge, his key priorities will stay the same.
Since the beginning of my administration, I have focused on 4 key priorities: keeping San Diego safe, addressing our homelessness crisis, building more homes, and fixing our roads. These priorities will not be changing.
Mayor Gloria and the City Council will work to finalize a balanced budget by June, with public input opportunities starting next week. The city's budget deficit is also putting public safety in the spotlight.
And as CBS 8's Anna Laurel reports, cuts could be coming to an already strained and understaffed police department.
We just heard from the mayor about the city's $258 million budget deficit. I asked the mayor what his strategy is to make sure essential services like policing is effective given how big this deficit is. What plans are in place to assure people that public safety will not be compromised any further?
The number one responsibility of this organization is the protection of the people and property of this city, and that will not be changing. That'll be made harder by this news, but that won't be changing.
The mayor trying to calm concerns about looming budget cuts coming to the San Diego Police Department because of the city's staggering $258 million budget deficit.
The goal, Anna, is always going to be that when you call 911, someone will pick up your call and we will send the appropriate trained professional to your door to take care of whatever it is you need. I'm also not representing that's going to be easy to do. It's going to be extremely difficult.
It's already difficult. According to recent data, the average wait time for lower priority 3 calls was 176 minutes in 2023, 114 minutes on average for priority 2 calls. That's nearly 2 hours to wait for an officer on a call that's categorized as to dispatch as quickly as possible, less serious crimes where there's no threat to life.
While we're doing a great job responding to emergencies of shootings and stabbings in progress, we're dedicating so many of our resources to those calls. We're really letting the quality of life issues, the misdemeanor crimes in progress that people see on the day-to-day really be pushed off to the side.
Jared Wilson with the San Diego Police Officers Association says long wait times for non-emergency calls are because the department is so understaffed.
We have beats and neighborhoods staffed by officers who work overtime, and if they don't show up and that overtime is cut, those neighborhoods will continue to go without police officers. We're not already filling all of the neighborhoods we have right now. And so we really don't have room to cut any further.
Wilson says he has assurances from city leadership that public safety is a top priority, a sentiment echoed by the mayor today.
And when push comes to shove, if it's this versus something else, we're going to always choose public safety. I should also say, though, there will be reductions in this department.
At City Hall, this is Anna Laurel for CBS 8.
As we first told you last night, an effort to make La Jolla its own city is moving forward.
The people behind the effort got more than 7,000 signatures. That's enough to qualify for a feasibility study. That will look into what kind of impact separation would have on both the city of San Diego and a new city of La Jolla, and whether it would be beneficial to both. The study could cost up to $150,000. Advocates say separating would allow for more local governance and control over things like services and infrastructure. But critics say a separation would likely lead to significantly higher taxes in La Jolla, to provide necessary services, including police and fire departments.
The Imperial Beach City Council is set to discuss regulations for tenant protections tonight. Renters at Hawaiian Gardens and Swell Apartments are asking the City Council to change a local law. It currently allows landlords to evict and enact no-fault evictions for substantial remodeling. The apartments recently served eviction notices to all of their renters so that the new owners, two private equity firms, can renovate the apartments. A suspected arsonist accused of setting 9 fires appeared before a judge for the first time today.
48-year-old Alan DeNoyo was arrested Saturday. He was arraigned in an El Cajon courtroom just a few hours ago. CBS 8's Shannon Handy shares what happened in court and the new details that we've learned about this case.
DeNoyo was charged with 9 felony arson counts as well as possessing a torch lighter. He's accused of setting those fires last month in East County, including 6 in one day.
Waive reading after pleas of not guilty, denying allegations.
48-year-old Alan DeNoyo did not speak and show no emotion during his arraignment. The judge ordered us not to show his face. Investigators say DeNoyo, who is homeless, set 9 wildfires in East County last month in Jamul, Rancho San Diego, Dehesa, La Mesa, and San Diego. 6 of them happened on November 20th, all within just 90 minutes. That includes the most serious one, the Miller Fire, which grew to 11 acres and forced evacuations in Rancho San Diego, but did not damage any structures. Witnesses who saw DeNoyo's car that day helped track him down.
Law enforcement were able to pull surveillance video and confirm the vehicle was a 2002 gold Hyundai Sonata registered to Mr. DeNoyo. There's also surveillance video showing him entering and exiting that vehicle around the times and locations of the fires.
CAL FIRE has not released details on how the fire started. Meanwhile, CBS 8 has learned DeNoyo is currently on probation for beating a 73-year-old man with a skateboard in 2021, nearly killing him. The victim of that assault described the unprovoked attack near Midway and Sports Arena Boulevard, saying it happened while he was riding a bike.
I put my arm up in self-defense to block a blow to my face, which probably would have been fatal, and it completely filleted my forearm.
In that case, the judge promised to sentence DeNoyo to 8 years in prison if he violated his probation. That same year, DeNoyo's mother filed a restraining order against him, kicking him out of her Spring Valley apartment. She alleged he is on drugs and uses meth. He has mental problems. He can be violent. As for this arson case, DeNoyo faces more than 39 years in prison. Deputy District Attorney Michelle Selwood argued for no bail. Judge Peter Lynch agreed, saying he poses a threat if released.
I think that the judge agreed that public safety is the most important thing, and by keeping Mr. DeNoyo in custody, we are ensuring that public safety and that no further fires are lit by him.
DeNoyo is scheduled to be back in court later this month. Reporting from El Cajon, I'm Shannon Handy for CBS 8.
Thank you, Shannon. A driver accused of drinking for several hours at a bar and then crashing her car into 2 pedestrians, killing them, was in court today for the start of her trial.
Taish Baltas is charged with 2 counts of murder. CBS 8's Steve Price was in the courtroom for opening statements and shows us what happened.
Opening statements today in the murder trial of Taish Baltas, who's accused of killing 2 pedestrians while driving under the influence of alcohol. Her attorney admits that she had been drinking that day, but says what happened was a horrific, unavoidable accident and not murder.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Prosecutors say Balti's blood alcohol level was twice the legal limit after the fatal crash and that she failed multiple field sobriety tests.
She was so impaired by alcohol, her balance so impaired, her physical abilities so impaired that during these tests, she almost fell over.
It happened June 22nd, 2022. Prosecutors say Baltis had several drinks at a bar in Mission Valley before getting behind the wheel of her car. They say she got lost heading home and ended up considerably out of her way on East Plaza Boulevard in National City, where she hit 15-year-old Jessica Talamonte and 39-year-old Brian McKee, who were walking home after shopping at a 7-Eleven. Both died from their injuries.
This accident was not caused by Trish's drinking and driving. This accident was caused by factors outside of her control. Factors that were unavoidable even to a sober person driving the speed limit.
Baltise's attorneys say very few drivers could have avoided the accident, blaming a lack of lighting in the area and the fact the victims were not in a crosswalk.
Crossed a 5-lane road in the middle of it, outside of a crosswalk, all wearing dark clothing.
After the crash, prosecutors say Baltise repeatedly denied drinking any alcohol. They say that's because she was convicted of DUI in 2020, and as part of her sentencing, she knew she could face serious charges.
She had the knowledge. She'd been told. Driving impaired is extremely dangerous to human life. If you do it again and someone dies as a result, you can be charged with murder. So she never admits that she's drinking.
Baltise is expected to take the stand and faces 30 years to life in prison if convicted. In Chula Vista, Steve Price, CBS 8.
Thank you, Steve. State Senator Steve Padilla is unveiling new legislation that would use toll money to help address the ongoing sewage crisis in the South Bay. Senate Bill 10 would give Sandag the ability to use money from tolls collected at the Otay Mesa East Port of Entry, that's under construction right now, to help clean and restore the Tijuana River Valley. A study by the city of Imperial Beach found that if 1% of revenue from a toll went to remediation, it would generate about $25 million every year. Senator Padilla says sewage is a big source of pollution in the region, but he notes that the new Otay crossing will also add to the problem.
At the end of the day, you can't be putting this infrastructure in the middle of one of the most unique environmental public health disasters in North America. This is an obvious option that we should put on the table, and that's what SB 10 does.
Sandag says it's still analyzing the bill and has not taken a stance. The move would also require support from Mexico. AT&T wants to get rid of traditional landline service. We're going to tell you why and how California would be impacted still ahead.
Plus, political drama meets cocktail hour. The race for a city office here in California that ended with an unexpected drawing.
And we are here at Rady Children's Hospital where it's time to light the way. Details and a live report.